Hello everybody, is the audibility absolutely fine? Am I audible to all? Is the audibility absolutely fine, guys? Great. Fine. Let's see on the very first channel. Is the audibility absolutely fine? I think I am audible. So let's first of all check at RBS channel and then we'll move on to Kreatryx. Right? I guess yes. I think the audibility is absolutely perfect, absolutely fine. Let's move on and check at the other channel, that is the Kreatryx. Yeah. So I think the audibility is absolutely fine at both the channels, right? So shall we start today's session? Yeah. Great. So as the audibility is absolutely fine, let's start today's session, right? So a few days back, I promised you guys that I'll be taking GATE Aptitude, especially for 2021 aspirants. This has been almost 9 days when I said almost 10-12 days when I said this. So I promised you guys that I'll be taking sessions on 9 days, 2 sessions per day. So today is the day 9th. We have taken the classes at 8 in the morning and 10 in the late evening. So finally we reached the 9th day of our session. So this is the final session of Quant and Graph. This is the 9th session of Quant and Graph, right? Before moving further, any one of you or all of you who can let me know, like how many of you have attended all the 9 sessions. I'm talking about the 8 AM session, which is Quant and Graph session. So out of all of you, how many of you have attended all the 9 sessions? The one which I used to take at 8 AM. So this is the last 8 AM session for you guys, especially for GATE 2021 aspirant, right? So how many of you have attended all the 9 sessions? Great. Good to see, right? Nice. Very, very nice. Fabulous. Great to see. Not just this. Other than this, we have taken 9 sessions on verbal. Actually, in verbal, we have taken 8 sessions and today I'll be taking the 9th one. So I promised you guys that I'll be taking 18 sessions overall minimum. This spans out to be like 30 to 36 hours. And other than these sessions, I have already promised that I'll be taking few special classes as well on YouTube, which I've already taken. I'll be taking one more special class on YouTube. And other than that, I have taken 2 special classes for GATE 2021 aspirants on Unacademy app as well. The 2 classes were also absolutely free and the third one I'm going to take tomorrow, right? Other than this, there are many videos like for the past day or 2, I could not able to upload a video. But other than this, on FT Express, you can find many videos of mine, and in the month of February, you'll see many more videos of Aptitude and Quant, DI, LR, all those things on FT Express. As I was telling you on Unacademy, I have already taken 2 sessions at 2 PM. So how many of you can confirm me that, sir, I have attended both the sessions, the one you took yesterday and day before that? How many of you have attended both these sessions? I've already told you that these sessions are absolutely free and the level of difficulty would be slightly high. And this is these 6 hours duration, because I'll be taking 2 hours per session and 3 hours. It means 6 hours session. And I've told you that the level of difficulty will be slightly on the higher side. It is especially dedicated to all the aspirants who are genuine aspirants who are really working hard. The third and the final session I'm going to take tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow, so that you can have some breathing space as well, so that you can revise, right? So that you can revise. Even if you could not able to attend, what you should do, you should install the Unacademy app. You can go to, I'll let you know my profile. You can go to my profile and these 2 videos are available over there. Just go through these videos. In these 2 videos, out of 3 videos, out of 3 sessions, I've already taken 2 sessions. So the 2 videos are available over there. Just go through those videos and you'll see I have discussed many concepts, almost 20 concepts I have discussed. These are very, very important concepts, right? So today in the evening, I'll be taking the last verbal session, that will be 9th session. Prior to this, I have already taken 8 sessions on verbal. Last point, how many of you can confirm me that, sir, I have attended 8 out of 8 sessions? It might be possible, not live, but yes, indeed, I have attended all the 8 sessions. How many of you can confirm me that, sir, I have attended all the 8 sessions? It might be possible a few of the sessions I could not able to attend live, but indeed I have attended the session later on. Great. Well done to all those people who have attended all these sessions. Fantastic. Right. Well done. This is my profile to you guys. So after attending all these sessions, now are you feeling confident? Especially this question is to GATE 2021 aspirants. Especially this question is to those people who earlier haven't started aptitude. Are you feeling slightly more confident than earlier, than 10 days back? Right? Great. Great to see this. Nice. So this is my profile. I have been taking classes for the past 10 years. Right? In the next few days, like from 1st of February, my first course on Unacademy app will be available from 1st of February to 5th of February, right? So how you can avail the benefits? As I promised you earlier as well, first install the Unacademy app, not just this time, but in the near future as well. I'll be bringing three things for you guys: free classes, free courses, and paid classes. So I'll be bringing 3 things for you guys. The free classes will be available for each and every one of you. Sir, what is the difference between free class, free course on YouTube and Unacademy app? It will be more filtered. Usually the audience who reaches an Unacademy app, they are more sincere. So, the kind of environment which gets created over there is extremely competitive, and at the same time, all the students who are there are extremely sincere. To those people who have already attended my 2 sessions over there, they can understand this, right? And to those people who could not able to, they can watch the videos. Those videos are available over there. So I would be bringing the plus course from day after tomorrow, especially for all the aspirants, all the GATE 2021 aspirants. This particular course which I'm about to bring from 1st of February, this will last for 5 days. It's a fast track course, 5 days, just 2 hours per day, 5 into 2, 10 hours. Else and otherwise, in the near future, in the month of February, I'll be bringing plus courses. There will be live classes, doubt clearing sessions. Linguistics won't be any bar. And then there is Iconic subscription. Personally, I prefer Iconic subscription because it gives you one-to-one mentorship. When I say one-to-one mentorship, this one-to-one mentorship especially includes those students who already made it through or already very successful in getting top colleges, right? This is the session I was talking about. 5 दिन 10 घंटे. So for whom this, like what kind of students can avail the benefit of this? To all those students who are about to go for 2021 batch, 2021 GATE paper. Like what kind of students? Those students who could not able to complete GATE aptitude, they can avail the benefit of this. Second, those students who have started GATE aptitude, probably have completed but cannot able to revise it because of so many technical subjects. So I'll be dealing with this from 1st of February till 5th of February, just 2 hours every day. It means 10 hours, so that you can have a very good helicopter view of GATE aptitude. So this can boost your preparation. Do make sure that you make the most of this, right? So when you subscribe for Unacademy, what you can do to avail the maximum benefit, you can use this ST26, this particular coupon code, to avail the maximum benefit. We have already started batches for GATE 22, mechanical, civil, chemical, and not just this, we have started a batch for GATE 23 as well. Over there you can use ST26. ST is Saurabh Thakur, 26 is my date of birth, right? So this is for 23 aspirants. So get ready. I'll be bringing many courses. Be ready with this. Install the Unacademy app and you can avail these benefits. Sir, how can I avail these benefits? You can subscribe for anything. You can subscribe for plus subscription or Iconic. You know what is the best part? If any student subscribes for, let us suppose, GATE ESE for plus subscription, the best thing is, for example, you subscribe for 12 months or 18 months or 2 years. If you are in 2nd year or 3rd year, you can go for 2 years plan. So if this is what you do, then all the videos which are available for each and every faculty who is there for GATE ESE, you can avail the benefit of all the videos. That is the best thing for this period of time, 18 months or 24, whichever you have subscribed for. That is the best thing. And to avail the maximum benefit, you can use this coupon. You can use this code ST26. The same case is valid with Iconic subscription as well. So for example, you have subscribed for 12 months or the next one 24 months. During this period of time, you can watch any video of any faculty who is there for GATE ESE. It is totally up to you. It's like a buffet. of education. This is really great. This into real terms is democratization of education. Sir, whatever courses you are talking about, how can I come to know that you are bringing all these courses? You can follow me on Unacademy app, Saurabh123 Thakur 251681. Here you can follow me. So all of you guys, you can follow me over here, right? On Telegram, you can get the PDF notes on FT Express, and other than that, Saurabh Sir Official. These are the two places where you can get all the notes. So is everybody ready? Shall we start today's class? This will be the last class for Quant and Graph. Is everybody ready? Shall we start the session, guys? Is everybody ready? Shall we start today's session? Absolutely. So I think we should start the session. Yeah, and this test series is also lined up for you guys. You can see the details of this particular test series on Kreatryx, as well as you can see the detail of this test series at Ravi Sir's RBS channel, and you can install the Unacademy app to get the benefit of this test series as well, right? It's Pariksha series, a fantastic test series as well, right? So as I was telling you, let's start today's session. Right at the top of your notebook, in the comment box, I want people to write this: discipline is the bridge between goal and accomplishment. Discipline is the bridge between goal and accomplishment. This is not my line. This is Mr. Jim Rohn's, one of the finest philosopher of all time. So this discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Mr. Les Brown said similar thing. It's not over until I win. I want people to write this, because within a week you're going to have your exams. It might be possible you're feeling slightly burned out, slightly exhaustive. I want people to remember this and write this in the comment box. It's not over until I win. So keep this for yourself. It's not over until I win. So keep working hard. So whatever you have been doing for the past 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, these are, the last lap, the final lap. Don't get distracted. Stay focused and keep on doing the good work. On every day there are 1440 minutes. It's not the minutes. It is what you do with those minutes that determines our future. So every single day has got 1440 minutes. The most important thing is what we do with that time. So that determines where we will go and what we will achieve. Shall we start today's session? In yesterday's class, I had already started time, speed, distance. I do believe whatever we have discussed is clear to each and every one of you. We have discussed average speed. We have discussed relative speed. So this is what we have discussed. Shall we proceed further, guys? And we have discussed time difference as well, right? Now, moving further, let us suppose there's one guy who is at stoppage A, and then there is one more station B. So there are two motorcyclists. The one is at A. This is the first motorcyclist, and this is the second motorcyclist, right? I'm letting you know every single piece of information right from scratch. Don't miss any single piece of information. Let us suppose this motorcyclist moves from A to B and the other motorcyclist moves from B to A. That's fine. This entire distance is, let us suppose, 100 kilometer. 100 kilometer. We'll be making different cases. So listen to this. Let us suppose this first motorcyclist, his speed is 10 kilometer per hour. Okay. On the contrary, the speed of the second motorcyclist is 15 kilometer per hour. That's fine. You know what? Now what is the thing that is required? The thing that is required now is when these two guys start their journey. So the first motorcyclist start at 7 a.m. That's fine. And similarly, the second motorcyclist also starts his journey at the stroke of 7. Nice. So what is that I've asked? Let's start with very basic. Even if you have any idea of TSD, even if you don't have any idea what TSD is all about, I have started TSD yesterday, and we are continuing this today as well. This will give you ample amount of idea of this topic. Fine. So as you can see, the distance between the two bodies, the distance between A and B is 100 kilometer, because motorcyclist first is moving towards A and B, and motorcyclist B is moving towards B and A. Yesterday as well, I have told you that whenever two bodies are moving towards each other, the relative speed must be added, right? So we must add the relative speed. And what is that we should do? 10 plus 15, that is 25 kilometer per hour. Great. This is nice. It means when we say distance is equals to speed into time. So how long will it take? It means how long will it take for what? How long will it take for the two bodies to meet, for the two motorcyclists to meet? So distance is equals to 100 kilometer and speed is equals to 25. It means 4 hours. It will take 4 hours for the two bodies to meet. Listen to this, because I'll be taking multiple cases of the very same concept, right? When we say 4 hours, let's cross check it. What is going to happen in 4 hours? Let's cross check it. What will going to happen in 4 hours? For example, when you talk in terms of motorcyclist 1, what is the distance this guy will going to cover? The motorcyclist first will going to cover at the speed of 10 kilometer per hour, and in 4 hours, this guy will going to cover 40 kilometer. Nice. Because this guy is covering 40 kilometers, so rest of the 60 kilometer must have been covered by the other motorcyclist. Sir, how do you know this? Else and otherwise they cannot meet. The speed of the second motorcyclist is 15 km per hour. In 4 hours, this guy has covered 60 kilometer. So this is how this panned out. If we redraw this figure, so this figure will look like somewhat like this. This motorcyclist is somewhere over here. So he has covered 40 kilometers. Is it clear? So this motorcyclist M1 is moving towards B, and on the other hand, this motorcyclist M2 is moving towards A, and he has covered 60 kilometer. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? I think it is clear to each and every one of you. Shall I consider everybody has understood this? Right? We need to take a few more cases in this. Is it fine, everybody? All right. Now, what was the crucial part? The crucial part in this case was both the bodies have started at the same time. Listen to this. This is a very basic point, and now we have to. In today's class will be very, very important for you guys, because I'll be taking many different questions from time, speed, distance, right? So do make sure that you don't miss anything. What will going to happen if they don't start at the same time? We need to see that. Let us suppose for the very same question, as I told you, this is point A, this is point B, right? Let us suppose this is the first motorcyclist, this is the first motorcyclist M1, this is the second motorcyclist M2. Rest of the things are absolutely same. This distance is once again 100 kilometer. Okay, fine. Absolutely fine. The speed of this guy is 10 kilometer per hour. Okay. The speed of the second motorcyclist is 15 km per hour. This is also fine. But the point is, the two motorcyclists start at two different times. Okay, fine. At what time these guys starting? The first motorcyclist M1, and there is the second motorcyclist M2. Let us suppose the second motorcyclist starts. Earlier what was happening? The first motorcyclist was starting earlier, prior to this, 7 a.m. and the second motorcyclist was also starting his journey at 7 a.m. Now, what is happening? Let us suppose the first motorcyclist starts at 7 a.m. On the contrary, the second motorcyclist starts at 9 a.m. Now, what will happen? Once again, very basic point. Listen to this very, very carefully. So, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., there is only one guy who is moving, and that is motorcyclist first. So, what will be the distance this guy will going to cover? The distance this guy will going to cover is 10 km per hour into 2 hours, that is 20 km. There is no relative speed because the other body is at standstill, because the second motorcyclist is not at all moving, and because the second motorcyclist is not moving, there is no relative speed involved, right? So actually the situation panned out like this. This is point C. Great. So this is the distance who has covered, the first motorcyclist has covered. It is 20 kilometers. It is not visible. So the distance is 2020 kilometer. So the distance is 2020 kilometer. Now it is visible? Yes. So this guy has covered 20 kilometer distance. Who has covered 20 kilometer distance? Motorcyclist M1. Now in the comment box, let me know what is the distance between C and B. That is, now what is the distance left between the two motorcyclists? Go ahead, make it fast, guys. Now what is the distance left between first motorcyclist and the second motorcyclist? Because he has already covered 20 kilometers, so the distance left between both these motorcyclists is 80 kilometers. Now because now once again the two motorcyclists will move towards each other. This is the first one who moved from A to B, and this motorcyclist is the second one who moved from B to A. Fine. So once again relative speed can come into picture. So relative speed, because of relative speed, the speed we can add the two speeds. What are the two speeds? 10 and 15, and thus the speed is 25 kilometer per hour. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Nice. So the distance is equals to speed into time. How long will it take? Speed up, distance upon speed. What is the distance? We are left with 80 kilometer and 25 kilometer per hour is the speed. So ultimately 5 by 25 is 1 by 5, right? So 1 by 5, it means 3.2. It means 3 hours and 12 minutes. 3.2, it means 3 hours and 12 minutes. So exactly at what time these two motorcyclists cross each other? After 9, 3 more hours. It means at 12:12 these motorcyclists will cross each other. Now is it absolutely fine, guys? Is it absolutely clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine to each and every one of you? 3-2, absolutely fine. Right? Yes, absolutely. So the two very basic points were, when the two motorcyclists start at the same time, immediately use the relative speed. When the two motorcyclists starts at two different times, there's no concept of relative speed. Let the other motorcyclist start. So here we saw that. In this case, that second motorcyclist starts his journey at 9 AM, and because he started his journey at the stroke of 9, 12:12. I've written 12:12, not 12:13. Yeah. So 3.2 hours. What is the meaning of 3.2 hours? 3 hours, and it's a very basic point actually. What is the meaning of this 3.2 hours? It is 3 hours and 0.2 hours. What is that? 3 hours and 0.2. If you convert into minute, what are you going to get? 0.2 into 60. That is why 12 minutes. That is why 3 hours and 12 minutes. I think it's fine now. Right? Yes. After 9, we need to add 3 more hours and 12 minutes. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine? So this was a very basic point. Fine. So can we upgrade it any further? Yes. Now listen to my question. These are very basic points. These kind of questions actually come in your exam. Now listen to my point. Right? Now listen to this. Let me take a very similar scenario. Once again, this is point A. Okay. Once again, this is point B. That's great. Let us suppose the distance between A and B is 72 kilometer. Listen to this very, very carefully. Then once again, there is a motorcyclist. There is a motorcyclist M1, and then there is another motorcyclist M2. Don't miss whatever I say, right? Don't miss whatever I say. The information you don't jot won't help you. So there is a first motorcyclist at A and there is second motorcyclist at B. Right. The first motorcyclist is moving towards B and the second motorcyclist is moving towards A. Very same question. The uniform speed of the first motorcyclist is 4 km per hour. Okay, fine. That is also fine. That is also same. The uniform speed of the second motorcyclist is 2 km per hour. Sir, once again, this is also fine. So how is it adventurous? He has started his journey at 7 AM. Sir, this is also fine. Listen to this. This guy has also started his journey at 7 AM. Sir, this is exactly the very same question. How come this same question? Keep listening, don't miss anything. 4 plus 2, 6. So that's pretty obvious. These guys have started at 7 AM. So a relative speed is equals to 4 plus 2, that is 6 km per hour, right? And because it is 6 km per hour, don't miss anything. So distance is equals to speed into time, and that is why total time taken would be distance upon speed, 72 upon 6, that is 12 hours. So when will these two guys meet? They started their run at 7 a.m. These guys will going to meet at 7 p.m. Sir, but you know what? This was absolutely the very same question. Indeed, it was. Yeah. Is it clear to each and every one of you? It was the very same question. Now let's change something. Right? Now let's change something. Let's do something else. Let us suppose the second rider, his speed is 2 km per hour for the first hour. For the first hour. And then his speed was 2.5 km per hour. Now this is interesting. In the second hour, then his speed was 3 km per hour. In the third hour, and then his speed was 3.5 km per hour in the fourth hour, and then his speed was 4 km per hour in the fifth hour, and so on. Now this has become a very interesting question. Why it becomes an interesting question? Because earlier, when we say speed of the body is 4 km per hour or speed of the body is 2 km per hour, what we mean, it is the uniform speed throughout the journey. Okay. On the contrary, here in this case, the speed of the first body is 4 km per hour. On the contrary, the speed of the second body is, this speed is constantly varying every hour. In the very first hour, the speed was 2 km per hour. In the second hour, its speed was 2.5. In the third hour, its speed was 3. Fourth hour, speed was 3.5. Fifth hour, 4. And 4.5, 5, 5.5, and so on. Now, the important thing to understand over here, whether the distance between the two bodies was 72 earlier or in this case, we need to understand if the distance between, if I am standing over here and you are standing over there, and if the distance between both of us is 72 km, if I cover 1 km and you cover rest of the 71 km, still 72 km will be covered. Listen to this very, very carefully. If I cover 2 km and you cover rest of the 70 km, still we cover 72 km. If I cover half of the distance, 36 km, you cover 36 km, still we could able to cover 72, and so on and so forth. If I cover 70 km and you cover just 2, still we cover 72 km. So what is that you mean to say? Let's take this. Let's take this particular question. Let's make this question very, very easy. Right? Let's transform this question in a way like we used to solve. We know that they have started their journey at 7 a.m. Let's see what is the situation from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. If I ask you like what will be the situation from 7 to 8, don't miss anything. You will say the first guy will cover 4 km. Yes, absolutely. So the second motorcyclist will cover 2 km. Right? If I ask you furthermore, what do you say? Like from 8 to 9, what do you say? 8 to 9 a.m. What is your take out of this? You will say, sir, the first motorcyclist will cover 4 and the second motorcyclist will cover 2.5 actually. He will cover 2.5. Okay. If I ask you like, okay, fine, what do you think? From 9 to 10, what do you think? From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sir, the very same thing. The first motorcyclist will anyways cover 4 and the second motorcyclist will cover 3. But here what we can see? Here we can clearly see that with every single hour, the first motorcyclist is always covering 4 kilometers. Listen to this. Let's keep very, very simple. Things very, very simple. On the contrary, the second motorcyclist is covering 2 kilometers, and then he's covering 2.5 kilometers, and then he's covering 3 kilometers, and so on. What does that mean? The distance this guy, the second motorcyclist, is covering is increasing at the rate of 2.5 kilometer per hour. When anything increases at a constant pace, like every single time you can add something or subtract something, that is called an AP. So what exactly is happening in the very first hour? If you add these two distances, you are actually covering 6 kilometers. In the second case, you are actually covering 6.5 kilometers. In the third case, you are actually covering 7 kilometers. So what is that we can understand? You know what is that I told you a few minutes back? I said, even if you cover 70 kilometers and I cover 22 kilometers, we can still able to cover 72 kilometers. If you cover 36, I cover 36, still we can cover 72 kilometers. It means the distance covered in the very first hour would be 6 kilometer. After that 6.5. After that 7. After that 7.5. 8. 8.5. And it will take some hours. Let us suppose n number of hours. And the sum must be equals to 72. This question started as times per distance, and we are finishing this question as a very basic sum of the series question. What kind of series? AP series. Are we getting this point? This question started as times per distance, and when we saw this over here, it's a very basic sum of the series question from AP, arithmetic progression. So the basic question is, what is the value of n such that S of n is equals to 70? Do you agree with this? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Is it clear to each and every one of you? It's such a beautiful question here. Such a nice question. This question started like times per distance, and here we can clearly see that this question is a very basic AP question, arithmetic progression question. Here we can say that we need to find n such that the sum is 72. What we know, n by 2 is equals to 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equals to 72. Here when we are saying n, basically this n is number of hours. If you're finding it difficult to understand, you can always write 2, right? And here is number of hours. Sir, what is this a? The 6. Great. So this is n minus 1. What is the common difference? Half. Nice. This is 72. We can, just a minute, you can write, if we should write any of the thing, but we should write one of them. So write, if you want you can write t, if you want you can write n. We can solve this. This is not that difficult a thing. So the time would be 972. Okay, 9 hours. We can solve this quality question. That's not that difficult a thing. So in 9 hours, earlier the scenario was these guys were meeting after 12 hours. Right now they are meeting after 9 hours. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Let's see what will going to happen in 9 hours. So because this guy is moving at a constant pace of 4 km per hour, it's quite easy to solve where this guy will reach in 9 hours instead of solving that part. So 9 into 4, 36. My God, this guy will be exactly at the middle of this. So the motorcyclist first would have reached 36. But this answer is, telling that these two guys must have met over here. It means the motorcyclist 2 must have also covered the very same distance, 36 kilometers, during these 9 hours. And that is how these two guys have met. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Like how we started with such a basic point, and then we've transferred, we brought AP over here, and this actually panned out to be a very nice question. From my side, put up a double star on this. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Shall we proceed further, guys? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Make it fast, everybody. Right. So I think this is clear to each and every one of you, right? Let's move on and let's see the next concept. Listen to this. Don't miss this, what I'm about to say, right? Don't miss this. I'm saying that let's talk about the concept first, and then I'll give you a question. And what I believe, the moment I give you the question, you can able to solve it in 10 seconds, right? So first listen to this concept, what I'm saying. Let us suppose there is another city A. The very same concept you are taking, sir? Yes, we are taking the similar concept. And once again, the very same motorcyclist M1. Don't get defocused. Please stay focused. Whatever I'm saying, just pay attention to this. And then there is another motorcyclist M2. Great. Listen to this. This guy is moving at some pace, and this guy is also let's take very small examples. Let's take this guy is moving at a speed of 5 km per hour. Let us suppose this motorcyclist is moving at a speed of 2 km per hour. Okay. Don't miss this. Let us suppose there are two motorcyclists. One of the motorcyclists is moving at a speed of 5 km per hour. The other motorcyclist is moving at a speed of 2 km per hour. Listen to this. It's a very good point. The first motorcyclist started his journey at 7 a.m. The second motorcyclist also started his journey at 7 a.m. That's nice. Even before proceeding any further, just some very basic points. I told you that like both these guys have started their journey at the stroke of 7, right? So let's see their status at 8. What the first motorcyclist has achieved. Okay. What is that the first motorcyclist has achieved? What is that the second motorcyclist has achieved? Where the second motorcyclist has actually reached? And what is the difference between these two? In the first hour, because both these motorcyclists, they are starting the journey at 7 a.m. Because they're starting the journey at the stroke of 7, so in just 1 hour, with this speed, this guy can cover 5 kilometers with the speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Don't miss anything. With the speed of 2 kilometers per hour, he's going to cover 2 kilometers. And what is the difference between the two? 3 kilometers. Sir, why you want to find the difference? I just want to see how much extra the first motorcyclist has moved. How much extra? That is, the lead generated by the first motorcyclist is 3 kilometers. Listen to this, it's very, very good point. Listen to this, right? I'll tell you my point right at the end. It means that if I want to see the scenario at 9 a.m., very easy. The second motorcyclist would have covered 5 more kilometers. It means he must have reached 10 kilometers and this guy must have reached 4 kilometers. That is, the difference between these two would be 6 kilometers. Fabulous. The table which we have drawn is showing that with every passing hour, the first motorcyclist is taking a lead of 3 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's interesting. So if I ask you, what do you think? After how many hours? Because in the first hour, this motorcyclist has taken a lead of 3 kilometers. Second hour, 3 more kilometers, it means 6 kilometers overall. If I say that the overall lead by the first motorcyclist is 30 kilometers. Question to you guys. So what do you think for how long these two guys have been driving? If the first motorcyclist takes a lead of 30 kilometers, what do you think? For how long these two guys have been driving? That is the time. Absolutely. 10 kilometers, right? 10 kilometers, absolutely. Right? So 10 kilometers. Sir, how come 10 kilometers? Because in every single hour, this guy is getting a distance. This guy is taking a lead of 3 kilometers. So to take lead of 30 kilometers, you have to divide this by 3. It means these guys must have been driving for 10 hours. I think this is fair enough. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Yes. Similarly, if I ask you, if he has taken a lead of 90 kilometers, what do you say? For how long these two guys have been driving? 90 kilometers per hour, they are taking a lead of 3 kilometers. It means that these guys must have been driving for 30 hours. Now listen to this language of mine. There is first motorcyclist and there is second motorcyclist. The first motorcyclist started his journey at 7 a.m. The second motorcyclist also started his journey at 7 a.m. Okay. The speed of the first motorcyclist is 5 kilometers per hour. The speed of the second motorcyclist is 2 kilometers per hour. And it has been found that, listen to this, don't miss anything. And it has been found that when these two guys met, finally, these two guys met, the first motorcyclist has covered 30 kilometers more, right? 30 kilometers more. So what do you think when they have started, what was the distance between them? Now listen to this. What we are concerned about here is distance. So we know distance is equals to speed into time. Time is speed is relative speed. Because both the bodies are moving towards each other, we can add this 2 speeds. So that's not a problem. So what is the speed? 5 plus 2. And we have been told that the first motorcyclist took a lead of 30 kilometers. In every hour, this guy was getting a lead of 3 kilometers. So to get a lead of 30 kilometers, these two guys must have driven for 10 hours. We've got the answer. 5 plus 2 is 7 into 10. The answer is 70 kilometers. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Listen to this once again, whatever I'm saying. Don't miss anything. I'll tell you many points, many good points. I make sure that you write every single point. Listen to this. I said the two bodies are moving towards each other. That's fine. When the two bodies are moving towards each other and they've started the journey at the stroke of 7, the speed of the first body is 5 km per hour and the speed of the second body is 2 km per hour. Okay. It has been found that when the two bodies met, the first body has covered 30 kilometers more. Now, we have been asked that what is the initial distance between two bodies. The initial distance you want, the bodies are moving towards each other. Ultimately, whatever happens, distance equals to speed and time, because the bodies are moving towards each other. So the relative speed says to us, put up a plus. So that is what we've done. What is the lead? 30 kilometer. And in every single hour, what's the lead the first motorcyclist was getting? 3 kilometer. That is it. So 5 plus 2 plus 30 divided by 5 minus 2. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? You won't believe, in one of the competitive exam, what is that they have asked? In one of the competitive exam, they have asked this. Absolutely same question. In two different exams, actually, they have asked similar question. And what was these questions? The first one. Let us suppose the speed of the first motorcyclist is 25 km per hour. The speed of the second motorcyclist is 20 km per hour. When these two guys met, it was found that the first motorcyclist has covered 80 km more. What was the initial distance between the two bodies? Yeah, make it fast, everybody. I won't answer in next 10 seconds. We know distance is equals to speed into time. I want the answer in next 10 seconds. Make it fast, guys. Is it clear, everybody? What is the answer? Make it fast. Make it fast, everybody. That's it. That is it. This is what we are looking for. That's it. Speed, because both the bodies are moving in the opposite directions, just add the speed. 25 plus 20. 25 plus 20. And after that, how we can find time? What is the distance is equals to speed into time. To find time, we can write distance upon speed. Okay. So what is the distance? The additional distance the first body has covered is 80 kilometers. And how is it possible like this body is covered 80 kilometers extra? Because with every single passing hour, it was covering 5 kilometers more. That's it. Straight answer. Is it fine? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? So this is 4, 5, 45 and this is 80 upon 5. So that is 720 kilometers. I think it is clear to each and every one of you, right? In the very same year, you won't believe, in another paper, they've asked exactly the very same question. In the very same year, they have asked exactly the same question, and I want the people to find the answer of this as well. What was the question they have asked? This. Once again, the very same question, there are the two bodies, these are the two bodies. These are the two bodies. The first body is running at a speed of 16 km per hour. The first body is moving at a speed of 16 km per hour. On the contrary, the second body is moving at a speed of 21 km per hour. It has been found that when the two bodies met, the second body has covered 60 kilometers more than the first one. 60 kilometers more than the first one. Go ahead, find the answer. Let's take the other color. 60 kilometers more than the other. So what do you think? What do you think? What was the distance when they have started their journey? What was the distance between these two bodies when they have started their journey? What is the distance? Yes, absolutely, 444. If they have the same speed, then is it possible that any body can take any kind of lead? If my speed is 5 km per hour, if your speed is 5 km per hour, then how can I take lead, or how can you take any lead? Right? The lead term is possible only if there's difference in speed, right? So the answer would be 16 plus 21 into 60 upon 21 16. This is phenomenal. Absolutely perfect. So what is this? 37. What is this? 60. And what is this? 5. Great. So this is 12. It means 4 kilometer. From my side, put up a single star to this, and I do believe that you have understood this entire point. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Whatever we have decided, is it clear to each and every one of you? Great, well done. Mr. Jim Rohn once said that your life does not get any better by chance, but it does get better by choice. It is not by chance that something will going to happen. You have to genuinely put in some effort. You have to take decisions. You have to take full accountability of your life to make things happen. Either it is inspiration or desperation. We need two things, either of the two things. Either you are inspired enough that one day I'll become this, or you are desperate enough that I cannot live like this. I have to change. Sir, but I think I'm too old. Too old? You guys are 18, 20 years old. How can you say that you're too old? Les Brown said you're never too old to set another goal. You're never too old to set another dream. You're never too old to go for a new voyage. You can always start a new journey. It's totally up to us how we want to take our life and how we take our decisions. There is absolutely no right decision, no wrong decision. Whatever decision you take, you have to back your decisions. Whatever we have discussed till now, is it absolutely clear to each and every one of you? I want to know this. Whatever we have discussed, is it clear to each and every one of you? Yes, absolutely. One life, dream more. One life, travel more. Right? Shall we start further? Shall we move further? Is it clear, buddy? Whatever we've discussed so far? Right. I think we have discussed all these points. Please put up the next heading, boats and streams. I want you guys to put up the next heading, boats and streams. This is such a beautifully boats and streams, but at the very same time, very, very basic point. Boats and streams. You know what? I really want to start this particular topic. I really want to start this particular topic from one specific point, and these are very, very simple topic. But I've seen in the past that a few students may find it slightly difficult. So what I'm doing is, let me backpedal it a bit. Let me start from basic, very, very basic, and then we'll move to this. Right? Now listen to this. What is the key for boats and streams? Listen to this very, very carefully. This is my promise to you. Once we are done with this, you'll find it very, very easy. I want you people to draw this figure. What figure? You know what creates all the doubt? The boat, stream and men, right? So let's do one thing. Let's take the men, or let's take a boat. And when I'm saying this, I mean it is a boat or a men in still water. Okay. It is not a stream. It is not a moving water. And then there is stream of water. Let's do one thing. Let's take speed of the men or speed of the boat as speed of the men or speed of the boat as x kilometer per hour. Let's take speed of the men or speed of the boat as x kilometer per hour, and let's take speed of the stream as y kilometer per hour. That's nice. Fabulous. The second graph. I really want you people to draw this. Whatever I am drawing, I want you guys to draw every single thing. Then the second thing. When is that we call it a downstream, and when we call it a upstream? When is that we call it a downstream and upstream? To call a situation a downstream situation or this upstream. For downstream, the stream of the water and the boat must be in the same direction. Don't get confused. Don't confuse this particular thing with relative speed. Here you are in the medium of water, right? So these two things are entirely different. The boat is moving in this direction, and let us suppose the stream of water is also moving in this direction. We know that the speed of the boat is x, speed of the stream is y. And we won't be changing these variables. Let's keep these variables. So this is downstream, and that is why x plus y kilometer per hour. Very nice. Very basic, very nice. Very nice point. And here let us suppose this boat, when we say speed of the boat or speed of the men, it's same, right? There is a man inside the boat, so the speed of the man and speed of the boat is same. Here in this case, the stream is in this direction, and let us suppose the boat is traveling in this direction. We know that the speed of the boat is x km per hour and speed of the stream is y km per hour, because both of them are moving in opposite direction. It is x minus y km per hour. This is x, this is x, this is y, this is y. Is it done, everybody? I want people to draw this, and we will draw one more figure. Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine to each and every one of you? Is it fine to each and every one of you? Has everybody drawn this? Great, right? So what we've done here in this case, we have taken speed of the boat as x km per hour. We have taken speed of the stream as y km per hour. In case of downstream, we have taken it as x plus y, and in case of upstream, we have taken it as x minus y. Now, what I want you guys to draw one more figure with me, and that is this. I want the people to draw one more figure with me, and that is this figure. Sir, what is this? What can this be? Stream, of course, right? Let us suppose the stream is moving in this direction. So I don't think there's any doubt. So this is speed of the stream, and it is moving like this. I want the people to draw this with me, right? Okay. Then there's a boat. Let's draw the boat. Then there's a boat. And this boat is moving in this direction. And then this boat once again comes from this direction to there. Right? So, this boat started from here A, and then reached this point B, and then came back once again. Let us suppose this entire distance, I want you people to draw it with me, right? Because else and otherwise later on it will be really difficult to understand what I've written. That's fine. You know what is the total time? What is the total time? The total time is capital T. But what is capital T? T downstream I have written as T small d, and then T upstream, T U P. But what is T downstream? This is T downstream. When the boat is moving from A to B. And what is upstream? When the boat is moving from B to A. That's it. That's nice. That's nice, right? When you say downstream, what exactly you mean? When you say downstream, this is the distance covered, and downstream speed is x plus y. Upstream, d and the speed is x minus y, and that is it. You don't think anything more than this in boats and stream. That is it. You don't need anything more than this in case of boats and streams. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine, everybody? So when you say the total time taken, what is the total time? Total time includes downstream plus upstream time. That's it. T downstream plus T upstream. When you say downstream, what does that mean? Any which ways you've covered the distance, you are covering the distance of small d. And because it is downstream, the speed must be x plus y. Here you are covering a distance of d and the speed is x minus y. Is it clear to each and every one of you? You know what? So I tell students, like, don't change these variables. Let's keep these variables as such. Like what variables? Let's take speed of the boat or speed of the men as x km per hour. Speed of the water as y km per hour. In case of downstream, let's take it as x plus y. In case of upstream, let's take it as x minus y. That's nice. And then the total time taken. What is the total time taken? Downstream plus upstream. That is it. Is it clear to each and every one of you? First of all, tell me this. Right? Shall we proceed further? If it is clear to each and every one of you, shall we proceed further, guys? Is it clear? Alright. Let's take a very basic question. Let's take a very, very basic question. What kind of basic question? Let's take a very basic question. Let us suppose there is a boat. Okay. Let us suppose there is a boat which covers a certain distance downstream. Okay. In 1 hour. So it covers a certain distance downstream. It covers a certain distance downstream, let us suppose small d, in 1 hour. And do remember that figure, what we have drawn, right? While it comes back in 1.5 hours, that is 3 by 2 hours. While it comes back, it means we are talking about upstream. While it comes back in 1.5 hours. When you say, it means you are covering the very same distance. This is what you mean. Okay. So it has been told that there is a boat which covers a certain distance in 1 hour, and then it downstream in 1 hour, and then it comes back in 1.5 hours. If the speed of the stream is that is y, that is 3 km per hour. We have been asked what is the speed of the boat. If you want to draw the figure, you can draw it like this. But I really want the people to practice this particular figure so that you can remember this, because this is the only thing you should be looking for. That's it. So what is happening here? This is covering the distance of small d. That's it. In case of downstream and in case of upstream, what is happening? This boat is covering a distance of small d. Okay, that's fine. And here in case of downstream, when the speed of the boat and speed of the stream is in the same direction, it is taking them 1 hour. On the contrary, in case of upstream, it is taking them 3 by 2 hours. Is it clear to each and every one of you? So let me repeat this question so that each and every one of you can understand. A boat covers a certain distance downstream. Let's take that certain distance as small d. Okay. In just 1 hour. Okay. Whereas it comes back in 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2 hours. Okay. It comes back in 1 by 2 hours, that is 3 by 2, 1.5 hours. It means it comes back the same distance. If the speed of the stream is 3 km per hour, can we find speed of the boat? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Is it fine? Is it clear to all? Can we find the speed of the boat? Make it fast, guys, make it fast. Very basic point. Distance is equals to speed into time. Even if we haven't been talked about the total time period, that is also fine. It means in case of downstream, the speed was x plus y. So what was the distance? Small d. What was the time? 1. In case of upstream, x minus y. What was the distance? The distance was once again the same, small d. But what was the time? 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2. Sir, this is very, very basic elementary level point. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. Is it clear to all? So if you see this can't we do directly like this, that x plus y into 1 is equals to 3 by 2 x minus y, because we are covering a constant distance. Is it fine, everybody? Because the distance is absolutely same. So once we replace this y by 3, we will get the answer. Is it clear to all? What is the value of x? Make it fast, guys. Fast, 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 fast. Quick, 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 quick. Make it fast, guys. What is the value of x? What is the value of x? Make it fast, please. The value of x is what? Make it fast, 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 fast. Yes. So the value of x we can clearly find. And what is that? 15 km per hour. Absolutely. Shall I move ahead? Is it fine? Is it fine to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? The next example. It has been told that there is a boat and whose speed is 15 km per hour in still water. When you say still water, you automatically mean you're talking about x, because this is what we have done, right? We have taken in the speed in still water. So in the earlier case it was 15, right? Here the speed of the boat, let us suppose the speed of the boat is 15 km per hour, and this boat goes 30 km downstream and comes back. Now listen to this. This boat goes 30 km downstream and comes back. I think I need to draw this so that we can understand this. See, this is what has been given. This is the stream, and here is the boat, and here is the boat. What is happening here? This boat is traveling downstream. This is downstream, right? So this boat is traveling downstream, okay. Because this boat is traveling downstream, the speed of this boat is 15 km per hour. Let us suppose this boat covers a distance of small d. And the total time taken. How do we know the total time taken? Because it has been told that the speed of the boat in still water is 15 km per hour. It goes to a distance of 30 km and comes back. Okay. It means we are told about the total time period, and that is 4.5 hours. That is 4 hours 30 minutes. So 4.5 hours, that is 9 by 2 hours. That is 9 by 2 hours. Now we have been told about this, and then we have been asked that, then find the speed of the stream. Can we find this? Can we find this or not? Yes, of course we can find this. We know total time is t downstream plus t upstream. That is it. So this is 9 by 2, and furthermore, in case of time, distance is equals to speed into time, so time is equals to distance upon speed. What is the distance they are covering? 30. And in case of upstream, same distance. Fabulous. This is 15. Downstream, so plus y. 15 minus y. Can we find the value of y? What is the value of y, guys? Make it fast, please. Quick, please. What is the value of y? What is the value of y? What is that we're getting? Great, absolutely. Right? So I think it is pretty much clear to each and every one of you. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Whatever we have discussed, is it clear to each and... So the only thing actually that matters the most is total time period is time t downstream and plus t upstream. I think it is clear to each and every one of you. Right? Yeah, time is given. I've told you the time. The total time period is given. This. Speed of the boat is given, distance is given, and total time period is given. Not the upstream and down. Total time period is given. I've told you the total time period. I think it is fine. Is it clear to all? So what is the value of y? Y is 5 km per hour. Right? In the year 2014, IIT Kharagpur has given a question on boats and streams. It was a very basic question. In the year 2014, IIT Kharagpur has given this question. IIT Kharagpur, let me write like this. IIT Kharagpur has given this question. Listen to this. It was a very, very basic question. A man can row at 8 km per hour in still water. What does that mean? We are talking about x. Still water, it means x. That's nice. I told you that we'll be taking x, y, small d, distance, total time period. That's it. So it has been told that a man can row at a speed of 8 km per hour in still water. Okay, and if it has been told that if it takes him thrice as long to row upstream than to row downstream. What is that? The time taken to row upstream is 3 times than time taken to row downstream. Okay, this is not a problem. See, the distance covered is d, upstream x minus y, and downstream x plus y. Absolutely fine. And it has been told that the time taken to row upstream is 3 times the time taken to row downstream. And the only thing which was asked, what is the speed of the water? Can we find this? Can we find the answer? Yes, of course we can. What is there about upstream? Upstream, it means x minus y. And, right? Is it fine, everybody? This is 3 times of downstream, that is small d x plus y. Absolutely perfect. I don't think there is any problem in this. So d and d gets cancelled. What is the value of x? It is 8 minus y, and this is 3, 8 plus y. Find the value of y. Make it fast, guys. Make it fast, please. Make it fast, guys. So what is the value of y? What is the value of y? Absolutely perfect. I think it is clear to each and every one of you, right? I really want you guys to, tell the answer. Absolutely correct, 4 km per hour. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Shall I proceed further? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Shall I proceed further? Right? I think it is clear to each and every one of you, right? Let's move on to the next topic. The next point is linear races. The next point is linear races. And listen to what I am saying. It's in a very, very basic term. I'll explain you linear races. What is the meaning of this linear race? You know what happens in linear race? They'll tell you a story. Like what kind of story? They'll tell you a small story. Let us suppose okay, fine, let's take it. This is a racetrack. AB is a racetrack. This is not a question, it's just a story. And what kind of thing you can expect in linear race? Then there are 2 guys, P and Q. So P is running from A to B and Q is also running from A to B. This is a racetrack. A race is going on. So you can expect a story in linear race. What kind of story? Like this. And then what will happen? And then what will happen? And somewhere down the line, let us suppose P took the lead and Q remained over here. Okay. P took the lead. Okay. And finally, P finished the race. And finally, P finished the race. But at that time, P has found that it's a 100-meter track. It's a 100-meter track. It has been found that P is 20 meters ahead of Q. Now listen to this. There is only one concept of linear races. Listen to this. Just one single line you need for linear races. And what is that? When, for example, these 2 guys, let's take an example. Let us suppose these 2 guys have started this race at 7 a.m. Let us suppose. And it took them almost 8 hours, 1 hour. So it's highly unlikely in 1 hour you cover only 100 meters, but let us suppose, just to make you understand this. And let us suppose this guy P reaches at 8. This guy P reaches B at 8. So what the linear race is? Where was Q when P finished the race? It means from 7 to 8. So at the stroke of 8, when P finished the race, where was Q? So what does that mean? There is only one meaning of linear race, and that is, in case of linear race, time is constant. And thus, what we were aware of, distance is equals to speed into time, you can directly use proportionality. Sir, you mean to say that here in this case we can say speed of A upon speed of P, sorry. Sir, here we can clearly say that speed of P upon speed of Q is equals to distance travelled by P upon distance travelled by Q. Yes, and that is 100 upon 80 and thus 5 by 4. Sir, what else do we need in linear state? Linear race, you don't need anything other than this. You just need you just need this thing, and that is, in case of linear race, distance is directly proportional to speed. Is it clear to all? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you guys? Right? I think it is absolutely perfect. Right? Let's take an example. So, sir, you mean to say you want us to write, in case of linear race, time is constant and thus distance is directly proportional to speed. That is it. This is what we are looking for. Let us suppose there is a race going on. So, this is point A and this is point B. It's a 100-meter track. Don't miss this. It's a 100-meter track. Okay. If it is a 100-meter track. Okay. And then there are two guys, P and Q. Okay, fine. So these two guys are running this race. What happened? In the very first case, what has happened? P finished the race. What happened? P finished the race and he actually defeated Q by a margin of 10 meter. Right? So what has happened? P said to Q, we can do one thing. Because I have defeated you by margin of 10 meter, let's do one thing. You stay over here, you run 100 meter and let me go back 10 meters. And let me start behind the starting point. There was a race going on between P and Q. It's a 100-meter track. When the very first race took place, P defeated Q by 10 meters. Then P said to Q, let's do one thing. You stay at the starting point and let me go 10 meter behind. It means that you have to cover 100 meter and I will be covering 110 meter. Now the question is, if they maintain their earlier speed, who will win this race? This is a very nice question. But this is a very basic question as well. How come? Listen to this. I said in case of linear race, there is only one thing required, and that is distance is directly proportional to speed because time is constant. Here from this story, when P finished the race, we can clearly say that speed of P upon speed of Q is equals to distance travelled by P upon distance travelled by Q. So what is the distance P has covered? 100 meter. That is how we won the race. And what is the distance Q has covered? Here it has covered only 90 meters. So the ratio of their speed is 10 by 9. Is it fine, everybody? So from the first case, we can clearly see that the ratio of the two speeds is 10 ratio 9. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine to each and every one of you? Great, absolutely perfect. What is 5 by 4? Where I have written 5? In the last case, that was just an example. I was giving an example that here in this case you can see the ratio of the two speeds is 5 by 4. Right? This is how you can find the ratios. I was giving an example. Right? When you say that the time is constant, the distance is directly proportional to speed, this is how you can find this ratio of their speeds. Now, this is the first question I am taking. Fine? Great. Now, in this case, if the time in which P covers 100 plus 10, that is 110 meters. If P covers 110 meter before Q covers 100 meter, then P will win this race. And if Q covers 100 meter before 110 meters, before P covers 110 meter, Q will win the race. We have been asked that who will win this race? That we need to see. Who will win this race? That we need to see. Right? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Let's see that. Let's see this part. We can actually solve this part in two different ways. We can actually solve this particular part in two ways. How come? See, we always know that in case of linear races, distance is directly proportional to speed. What is that we know? We know that in case of linear races, distance is directly proportional to speed. Okay. So, if distance is directly proportional to speed, let's do it over here as well. We know that the speed of these two bodies, P and Q, is equals to 10:9. Okay, that's fine. So, we can do two things. First, distance traveled by P is equals to speed of P upon speed of Q. Okay. And distance traveled by Q. Or we may write, I need some space. Let me write it over here, right? Distance traveled by Q is equals to speed of Q upon speed of P into multiplied with distance traveled by. Sir, what is this that you're looking for? Just a minute, listen to this. Let us see when Q covers 100 meter, what is the status of P? Or we can say, what happens when P covers 110 meter, where is Q? That is how we can actually find who has won this race. Is it clear to each and every one of you? We want to find in the second case who is actually winning the race, who actually won the race. So in this case, speed of P upon speed of Q, we can clearly see it is 10/9. Or if you want, you can take this. So here speed of Q upon P, just the opposite of that. So here we can see 9/10. So the first, in this particular case, what we can clearly see is 99 meter. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is when P covers 110 meter, Q only reach 99 meter. Q could able to cover only just 99 meters, and that is how Q has lost this race by 1 meter. Is it clear to all? When P has covered 110 meter, Q could able to cover just 99 meter, and that is how he has lost the race by 1 meter. Or if you want, you can see it over here as well. What happens when Q reached 100 meter? Because anyways, P has to cover 110. So here we can see 111.1. This guy has already won the race by 1 meter. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Sir, can you explain dq is equals to 90? What dq? Listen to this. Let me explain this entire question once again. Listen to this. Let me explain every single thing, right? I am explaining right from the beginning. The story pans out like this. There is a race going on, and the starting point is A and the finishing point is B. It is a 100-meter race track. Okay. Then there are two guys, P and Q, who are running this race. Whosoever covers 100 meter first will win the race. In the very first race of this 100 meter, P won this race by 10 meter. It means P has covered 100 meter. On the contrary, Q could able to cover just 90 meters. Is it fine? Who was asking this? Someone asked, Tejas. Tejas, is it fine? When P covered 100 meter, Q could able to cover just 90 meter. Is it fine? And because in linear race, we know that distance is directly proportional to speed, because the time is constant, and thus we can say that speed of P upon speed of Q is distance directly proportional. It's distance traveled by P upon distance traveled by A. That's fine. If this is the case, the ratio of their speeds is 10/9. Whose speed? Speed of P upon speed of Q. Now is it fine? What is the meaning of this when you say the ratio is 10/9? What do you understand? When you say speed of P upon speed of Q, this ratio is 10/9. When you write like this, what is that you understand? 1.1. This means every single time when this guy Q covers just 1 meter, this guy is covering 1.1 meter. This is what it means. Especially I am telling this to Raju, right? I'll let you know this. Is it fine, everybody? This is what it means, right? So this is what the ratio of their speed was. Okay, fine, we've understood this. In the second 100-meter race, what is happening? In case of second 100-meter race, this guy, these guys decided like Q has to cover 100 meter. On the contrary, P has to cover 100 plus 10. So overall he has to cover 110 meter. It means that the time in which Q covers 100 meter, if before that P covers 110 meter, P will win this race. Or if the time in which P covers 110 meter, if before that Q covers 100 meter, Q will win this race. Now is it fine? So we know the ratio of their speeds, okay, and the condition to win this race. So I said we can write either of the two things. Because we are writing in terms of Q, so speed of Q upon speed of P. We know speed of P ratio Q is 10 by 9, so exact opposite of this, that is why 9 by 10. Let us suppose that this guy P has covered 110 meters. Let us suppose this guy has covered 110 meters. Now we want to see where Q is. So we found that Q is barely at 99 meters. He has to cover 100 meters to win the race, but he could not able to. And that is why this guy has lost by 1 meter. Now is it clear, everybody? Just a minute. Mr. Bhattacharya, just a minute. Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine? Is this part clear to all? So when P has covered 110 meter, Q could able to cover just 99 meter, and that is why Q lost by 1 meter from this one. Is it fine? Right? First of all, is it clear to all? The first part. Let's move on to the second. I said you can check from either of the two equations. So speed of distance traveled by P, speed of P upon speed of Q into distance traveled by Q. So this is 10 by 9 into 100. What is that we are trying to see? What happened when Q covered 100 meter? It means P has already reached 111.1, but still I said what? P won this race by 1 meter. I not said 1.1. Sir, but here you can clearly see it's 1.1. First of all, Shrikant ji, it is not at all 11.1 or 11.2. Why? To win the race, P had to cover 110, not 100. In the second 100 meter track, he had to cover 110. So he had covered 1.1. Actually, what is happening? When Q was there at 99th meter, from 99 to 100, this guy moved from 100 to 111.1. Sir, but why this has happened? Because the ratio of their speed was 10:9. Every single kilometer covered by Q, P was covering 1.1. So when Q moved from 99 to 100, P actually moved from 110 to 111.1. And that is why I said this guy won by 1 meter. It means even before Q could able to reach 100, he has already won the game. That's what I said. Now is it clear to each and every one of you? Yes. Is it clear, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? It's a very nice question, huh? It's a very, very nice question. Is it clear to each and every one of you? So I have clear doubts of Swarnim, Shrikant, Tejas and Tunir. Tunir, is it fine? Is it fine as well? I'll take spatial, don't worry. I told you I'll take spatial, don't worry about it. Right? We cannot able to take right now. We'll take spatial either tonight we'll take or on Sunday. That is tomorrow. I'll be taking tomorrow another class on Unacademy app. So over there I'll cover questions. Don't worry. We have enough time. Don't worry about anything. If I said something I'll do that. Sir, how time is constant? That's a very innocent question, but still I'll let you know. Who is this guy? You asked Ranjan. Let us suppose Ranjan and Harsh, you guys are running a race. So Ranjan and Harsh, both of you are standing over here. You guys started your race at 9 and at stroke of 9:30 Harsh reached at the finish line and Ranjan could not able to. So exactly what you have achieved. The race has started at 9 and it finished at 9:30 when one of the person reached the finishing line. That is what the race is all about. So the question is, from 9 to 9:30, at the stroke of 9:30, when one person finished the race, where was the other person? It means we are calculating the position of two people with respect to that 30 minute when one of the person finished the race, and that is how the time is constant. Is it clear, buddy? I think it's fine now, right? Is it clear, buddy? Is it clear to all? Right. I think it is absolutely fine, right? I think it is absolutely fine to each and every one of you, right? Great. I think it is absolutely fine, right? If you want, we can make it slightly more adventurous. How come we can make it slightly more adventurous? Like this. Let's make it slightly more adventurous. Once again, there is a point A and then there's a point B. Okay. Then there is a guy P. Oh, sorry. Then there is a guy P and then there is another guy Q. Once again, same thing. These two guys are running a race. We are not aware of the fact what is the distance. Let's take it x meter. So this guy is running like this and this guy is also running like this. Somewhere down the line, A took lead, P took lead, and you can clearly see that P is miles ahead of Q. And then what has happened? Just see the story. And then what has happened? P finished the race. Right. P finished the race. Meanwhile, Q was running like this. Because P and Q both are from engineering background, so there is no point to finish the race all alone. मतलब क्या ही फायदा, जब तक दोस्त को जलाए नहीं तो क्या ही फायदा. So P thought कि यार मैं जीत तो गया हूँ, अपने दोस्त को जला के तो आऊँ मैं थोड़ा. So P started running backwards. Okay. The story is going on, right? There's story going on. And then he met Q somewhere over here. Let me write Q and let's write P. P was going in this direction, Q was going. To make you understand, let me write M. At M. Listen to this very, very carefully. So P was moving towards the starting point and Q was trying to finish the race. This is 420 meter. Finally, I need to draw one more figure. Let me draw it over here. And finally, Q could able to finish the race. Finally, Q could able to finish the race. I think I should draw it over here so that you can understand in a much better way. Finally, Q could able to finish the race. So here is Q. And meanwhile, P reaches somewhere over here. And this distance is 924 meters from the starting point. And this is 924 meters from the starting point. So what is happening in this case? I'm really sorry for the handwriting, but I've told you every single thing, right? A and B are the 2 points. So what these two guys, P and Q, are doing? A and B are the 2 points and the distance between A and B is x meter. What these two guys, P and Q, are doing? They're running a race. Somewhere down the line, what has happened? P has taken some lead and P has taken some substantial lead. We're not aware of the fact like what kind of lead, but yes, he has taken some lead. Okay. P finished the race and then he decided to come back. Okay. He met Q at 420 meters from the finish line and he continued the journey. When Q could reach the finish line, it has been found that P has covered 924 meters. I will explain this particular question in 2 different ways. First, very, very basic way. and then I'll tell you my style of solving this. The very first thing, when these two guys meet, let us suppose this was n and this is m. When two guys meet, they met at m. Let us see what was the status at m. We know that in case of linear races, distance is directly proportional to speed, time is constant. Don't get defocused. It's very, very important. Just 20-25 minutes I'll take. So here in this case, distance is directly proportional to speed. It means speed of P upon speed of Q is equals to distance traveled by A upon distance traveled by B. Oh, distance traveled by P. I'm sorry, I've written AB. Distance traveled by P upon distance traveled by Q. So what is the distance traveled by P? When these two guys met at M, the distance traveled by P was x plus 420 meter, and the distance traveled by Q was 400 x minus 420 meter. I'll explain the very same question 2 times, but first let's understand right from the basic. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? So at point P, here we can clearly see that at this particular point, here at this point, the distance covered by P was x plus 420 and the distance covered by Q was x minus 420. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Let's try and find the status at n. Similarly, distance is directly proportional to speed. Linear, that is what the meaning of linear races is, nothing else. So once again, speed of P upon speed of Q is equals to distance traveled by P upon distance traveled by Q. It has been seen that P has already covered x plus 924. We can clearly see that P has covered x plus 924 divided by x. So this is one way of solving. Sir, how, like, is it done? Yeah, of course it is done. We'll take first and second. So if you see left hand side is same, so we can equate and we can find the value of x. So when we find the value of x, we can put it over here and we can find the ratio. Is it clear to each and every one of you? This is the first way. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? I think you have understood this point, right? Now, let's see this. Can we solve the very same question like this? What we know, in case of linear races, distance is directly proportional to speed. Listen to the statement. So my point is, if we use the linear races concept right here at M. Sir, what does that mean? The time in which P moved from M to N, in the same time Q moved from M to B. Fabulous. The time in which P moved from M to N, Q moved from M to B. That is what the linear races is. Time is constant. Sir, you mean to say that we can use the concept of linear races right here at point M? Of course. Of course we can use. Of course. So, ratio speed of P upon speed of Q. Distance traveled by P from where? From M to N upon distance traveled by Q, M to B. Is it clear to each and every one of you? So this would be 924 minus 420 divided by 420. 6 by 5. Is it clear to each and every one of you? This is not at all a bad point. It's actually a very, very good point. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? This is a very good point. So, sir, during this entire thing, I have understood just one point. What is that? In case of linear races, time is constant, distance is directly proportional to speed. That is it. That is it you need to understand. Is it fine to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? So in case of linear races, what is that we've understood? In case of linear races, time is constant and distance is directly proportional to speed. So we can solve it like this, or else and otherwise we can solve it like this as well. The time in which A moved from P moved from M to N, time taken by P to move from M to N, during the same time Q is moving from M to B. So during the time in which P moved from M to N, in the same time Q moved from M to B. And that is how we've got the answer. I think it is clear to each and every one of you. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right. So just remember this one single thing what I told you. In case of linear races, time is directly proportional to, time is constant, distance directly proportional to speed. That's it. In one of the exam, it has been told that this is what has been asked. There is a guy who is running in circle. There is a guy who is running in a circle. Okay. And what is happening? When this guy was running in circle, he is running at a particular speed. I'll tell you what speed, and in a definite span of time which has been given to us. So there is a guy who is traveling like this. Listen to this. Let me draw a table for the same. So what has been given to us? Speed, time, 3 and 4. So this is speed, this is time, and then this is distance. Don't miss this, right? So the speed is given to us in meter per minute. Meter per minute. And what we have been told? We have been told that the speed of this guy, listen to this. This is a guy who is running in circle. And the speed of this guy is pi r. Pi r. That's interesting. Pi r. For the first 30 seconds. Let me take it in minute. So in half minute. Okay, let it be. And then gradually what is happening? And then his speed is pi r by 2 in the next 1 minute. In the next 1 minute. And then once again his speed was pi r by 4 in the next 2 minutes. Okay. And then finally his speed was pi r by 8 in the next 4 minutes. Right? Is it fine, everybody? But I cannot able to understand like what is that you are telling. Let's see. When his speed was pi r per meter per minute for the first 30 seconds, that is first half minute, let's see what is the distance this guy is covering. So if you multiply these two, because distance is equals to speed into time, just to get the understanding what is happening. When you multiply these two, you will get pi r by 2. What exactly is pi r by 2? Quarter circle. Let's multiply these two. Once again, we've got pi r by 2. When we multiply this, once again, we've got pi r by 2, and even in this case, we've got pi r by 2. So here the distance is constant. Okay. So it means that pi r by 2, this is what actually pi r by 2 is. This quarter circle. This is what pi r by 2 is. This is what pi r by 2. Listen to this. It's a very nice question. This is what pi r by 2 is. That distance pi r by 2. So here we have been clearly told that to cover a constant distance, that is quarter circle. What is that pi r by 2? If you want, we can take name as well. A, B, C, D. What is that I'm saying? Pi r by 2. A to B. This distance is actually pi r by 2. B to C, this distance is actually pi r by 2. C to D, this distance is actually pi r by 2. And similarly, D to A, this distance is pi r by 2. Is it clear, buddy? So to cover this distance, pi r by 2, what is happening? This guy is running at this speed. This is the same concept we have discussed in percentage equal to PC. So speed is gradually decreasing, and that is why time is increasing, and that is how the distance remains constant. It means this guy is running in circle, and gradually this guy is getting exhausted. How do you know this guy is getting exhausted, sir? Because to cover the same distance, he needs more time. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. First of all, is the question clear to each and every one of you? Have you understood the question? Is the question clear to each and every one of you? Forget about anything else. The speed is decreasing. Yes, indeed. Right? Now, after this, let's take the next case. Oh, sorry. What has been asked? We have been asked that, what do you think the ratio of time taken by this man? What do you think the ratio of time taken to cover the second round upon to cover the first round? Time taken by this man to cover the second round by time taken by this man to cover the first round. Arey yaar, kya? There's nothing in this question. Why? If you really have written whatever I've said, you will see arithmetic progression in time spread distance. You must have seen some of the series in time spread distance. You must have seen difference concept in time spread distance, and now you're going to see GP concept as well. So here we can see there's a clear cut case of geometric progression. This entire thing, this entire time, I mean this is T1. Time taken to cover the first round. But just see what is happening. Half, double of that is 1, double of that is 2, double of them that is 4. It's a clear cut of GP. It's a clear case of GP. It means next round, the first quarter will take double of 4, that is 8, then 16, then 32, then 32, and then 64. So if it has been asked time taken to cover the second round upon time taken to cover the first round, this would be 8 plus 16 plus 32 and plus 64. Divide by half plus 1 plus 2 and plus 4. Is it clear to each and every one of you? This is not at all a bad choice of question, believe me. These are actually very, very good question. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? I think it is clear to each and every one of you. What was happening in this particular case? Let's discuss this question right from the beginning. So what was happening in this particular, there's a guy, he has been running at the speed, at these speeds, pi r for first 30 seconds, then pi r by 2 for next 1 minute, and then pi r by 4, and then gradually his speed is decreasing. Here we can clearly see that his speed is decreasing, and this is quite evident when you see the time taken as well. The time taken to cover the same distance is increasing. The same distance, the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, so the semicircle is pi r, and quarter circle is pi r by 2. So to cover this distance of pi r by 2, the time taken is gradually increasing. It was earlier half, that is 30 seconds, then 1 minute, then 2 minutes, and then 4 minutes. And because this is the case, we can clearly see a GP over there, that is geometric progression. So if it is half, 1, 2, 4, the next quarter circle would be 8, 16, 32 and 64. So for the second round, the total time taken would be this, and for the first round, the total time taken would be this, and we can find the ratio, 16 ratio 1. Is it clear to each and every one of you now? Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? Fine. I think you have understood every single point whatever we have discussed today. I think you have understood every single point we have discussed in today's class. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to all? Is it fine to everybody? Great. हर्ष बेसिक जीपी यार क्या कर रहे हो डबल कर दो ना व्हाट इज द कॉमन रेशियो यार हाफ इंटू 2 किया तो 1, फिर डबल किया 2 4, फिर आफ्टर डबल करो ना, फाइन. सो बेसिक जीपी है, इस पर इतना टाइम देने की जरूरत नहीं है. I think we have understood every single bit of information whatever we have discussed today, right? I think this is clear to guys. Is it clear to each and every one of you whatever we have discussed? Is it clear to each and every one of you whatever we have discussed? Right. So this is what we have discussed in today's class. So in this particular class, in this particular topic, time per distance, what is that we've discussed? We started with very basic point, and that was distance is equals to speed into time. This is how we started. And then gradually we graduated ourselves to average speed. What is average speed? Average speed is total distance traveled upon total time taken. Ultimately, average speed is equals to total distance traveled upon total time taken. Fine. And when a body covers d distance and comes back the very same distance, we have seen that it is 2 times of xy divided by x plus y. From both these points, in your exam, the IIT has already asked questions. Once we were done with this, we actually moved to time difference. After this, we moved to time difference. And I do believe that you have understood time difference as well. In time difference, I said, put up a clock. Whenever in doubt, put up a clock. As simple as this. This entire concept was when distance is constant, that is, speed is inversely proportional to time. That is what the entire concept was. This is what we have discussed, right? This is what we have discussed. And then finally, we've discussed relative speed. In relative speed, I have discussed many different points. From my side, especially the train, men, telegraph pole, that is very, very important. Because that has already been asked in your exam. So the train, men, telegraph pole, these points are very, very important. Platform, these points are important. And other than this, in today's class, we have discussed that when both the bodies are moving in opposite direction, especially this particular case we discussed. When the time is same, when the time different, and other than that, when the speed is different. So we have discussed one question from AP as well, right? This is what we have discussed. Once we were done with this, we have discussed boats and streams. We have discussed boats and streams. We have discussed boats and streams. Ultimately, in boats and streams, what is that you look for? Capital T is T downstream plus T upstream. This is what you should look for. That's it. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than this. So downstream is T x plus y, and this is D x minus y. That is it. Ultimately, in entire boat and stream, this is what you look for. And once you are done with this, once we were done with this, then we discuss linear races. In linear races, what is that we've seen? We have seen this. In linear races, time is constant and distance is basically directly proportional to speed. This is what linear races is all about. The entire linear race is about distance is directly proportional to speed. That is it. So this is what we have discussed, and then we have discussed one question, one special question when the person is running in circle. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Whatever we have discussed so far, is it clear? Don't get defocused. Don't get defocused. Don't do all such things. Stay focused, guys. So is it clear to each and every one of you? Whatever we have discussed so far, is it clear to each and every one of you? After this, what is that I'm left with? I'm left with one session at 10 in the evening. Right? and I'll be taking one special class on Unacademy app. And I'll be taking one special session on Unacademy app. So the first thing, and today the session which I am supposed to take at 10 p.m. We indeed will be taking verbal, but we'll be taking only few questions. And then right at the end, we'll take some questions from work and time. Because of many of you were asking about work and time. Is it fine? Will that be fine? And today, because I have taken enough of verbal, I do believe, like, if anybody has attended all the sessions, he must have got the fair idea of what verbal is all about. Is it fine, everybody? Is it fine? And after this, in tomorrow's class, which I'm going to take on Unacademy app, what happens in Unacademy app, in this particular app, I prefer taking slightly difficult questions. In this particular, I prefer taking slightly difficult questions, right? So the spatial part I will include in these questions. Is it fine, everybody? I'll try to include the spatial part right here in the evening, but because we have to take work and time as well, and that will take some time. But if you're able to, that's fine, that's great. If you cannot able to squeeze that kind of time, I'll fix it over here. And this is how we'll finish it off. Is it fine, everybody? Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? The class which I take at 2 p.m, there is no specific topic. What I do, I connect all these questions. I take one concept, I connect it to different topics so that you can understand in a much better way. Is it fine, everybody? So whatever we've discussed, is it clear to each and every one of you? Right? I think we have discussed enough of this aptitude, right? So I hope that you have understood whatever we have discussed so far. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Is it fine, everybody? Whatever we've discussed so far. Before leaving today's class, before signing off the class, I want people to write in the comment box, don't wish it was easier, think you were better. Don't wish it was easier, think you were better. This is not my line, this line was said by Mr. Jim Rohn, the great Jim Rohn. So Mr. Jim Rohn said, don't wish it was easier, think you were better. It is not lesser problems that can bring happiness into your life. It is attainment of more skills that will surely do. So the idea is to acquire more skills rather than praying for lesser problems. So that is it for today's class. That is it for today's class. Fine. Let's meet up today at 10 late evening. You can set the reminder. And we'll meet up at 10. Fine. So see you guys. Bye bye, everybody. Take care. Jai Hind.